This is your host, Waleuska Lazo from Conversations from the Inside Out. Thank you for tuning in. Today, I'd like to share with you a few short stories of how the universe is in constant communication with us. This podcast is a companion to my blog called The Universe Speaks, but are you listening? For those of you interested in reading the full article, you can find it on my website at www.waleuscalazo.com/blogs or at the link provided on the notes of this podcast. Thank you for tuning in. This is going to be a mystical discussion. I love bringing this message to you because when we speak about the universe, which is a term I use in the feminine to describe a higher divine intelligence, I love it because it transcends religious doctrines. It does not matter what your religious preference is. We all believe in something divine, bigger than ourselves, that guides us. I believe that we all come on this earth with an intentional life plan, whose objective is for us to reach our soul's purpose or destiny. We are given lessons to learn, rules to follow, experiences and milestones to achieve. Our resilience and characters are tested. We are given virtues or gifts as tools and obstacles to overcome. In this game, the end result is to see how many of us can actually reach our intended destination. Now, as part of this game, we are given hidden treasures or nuggets to help us along the way. And one of those nuggets is to activate the guidance of the universe. Many go through life playing the game the hard way, never truly reaching their destination, not realizing that they can ask for help and that they don't have to do it all alone. I discovered that we all have a birthright to ask for the universe guidance. Once you do this, the universe conspires to make available to you the tools, the resources, the people, and the lessons you need to become the person that you are meant to be. But if you don't ask, the universe will respect your wish to do things on your own. You were given the power to create your life as you wish. And although there is a master plan set for all of us, it is up to you to accomplish your soul's purpose or not. You get to exercise your free will to do it your way, to go in a different direction and to accomplish different things. I like to think of the universe as a good parent. She will try to guide you, to communicate, to alert you, to redirect you, to advise you in the ways that she can. But ultimately, she will respect your free will and let you do it your way, along with the consequences that come with it. Asking the universe for a sign or guidance means that you are willing to collaborate with the universe. It means that you are committed to releasing control and instead participate and collaborate with a power greater than yourself. So the choice is always yours. You can create alone, or you can choose to co-create with the universe. Now, she communicates in a lot of different ways. And once you invite her, she will use any means necessary to get your attention. So you need to stay very mindful so that you can notice these things, right? Because she will communicate through signs that are unique to each person, because she will attract you, like get your attention through things that resonate with you. There are things you may start to see or notice that show up repeatedly. Well, that's your cue. That is a sign. Seeing those signs are equivalent to the universe winking at you or giving you a little nudge. The universe may communicate through, but not limited to, a repeat sequence of numbers, dreams, synchronicities, messages through people, passages of books, a line in a movie, a verse in a song, and the big one, the lessons, which she often sends through our closest relationships. Oh, yes, they are lessons that break us. lessons that hurt, and we wonder why we have to go through them. You see, the lessons come to show you the areas you need to heal. And if you ignore or resist the lessons, the universe will continue to send them in different ways, but with increased intensity. Trust me, I know. The universe kept sending me all kinds of signs that I was heading for a cliff, and I continued to defy her. She kept increasing the frequency of her signs, and I kept ignoring them. I was a worthy opponent in a tug of war, but in the end, she always wins. The amazing thing is that once you ask for guidance, you will start to see signs and messages everywhere. If you don't see them or hear the message, don't give up. This is something if this is something completely new to you, it will take practice. It's like a muscle. The more you work at it, the stronger your intuition and your ability to communicate with the universe gets. Trust me, the signs are always there. She's always speaking to us. We just have forgotten how to hear her. So one of the ways is through numbers. Some people strongly resonate to numbers that keep showing up in different sequence. I'm sure some of you have heard the typical ones, the 1111, the 4444s. My number, for example, is the number 13 because it's a number that has followed me my entire life since birth. That number has always been present in everything that I do. And now it follows my kids. So every milestone, every important document that I ever had to sign has the number 13 in it. It's crazy. My passport, my nexus, my birth certificate, any contract that I have ever signed that has been a critical milestone in my life has a number 13 in its sequence. That crazy. Even my birthday, May 8th. So May the 5th month and the 8th day equals to 13. Even adding the year of my birth, which is 1971, if you add all the numbers together, it adds up to 31, which is 13 inverted. So numbers are wings. It is the way the universe uses to say, hey, you're good, keep going. Only you will know what your number is. And this number does not have to be related to your birthday at all. It just happens that mine is. If you don't see it yet, believe me, after this, if you stay open, you will begin to see the same number in various places. Let me give you a short story. I was driving in a foreign country in Costa Rica, and I was lost. I was going on circles, and I could not see anyone on the road except for cows. And my cell phone, the access was like really, really poor, so I couldn't even ask for help of my GPS. It was a very rural area, and I've been going at this for about 45 minutes to an hour, and I was starting to get really desperate. I was scared, and I honestly wanted to cry. So I had no idea where the hotel was. So I parked on the side of the road, closed my eyes, and asked the universe to help guide me. I drove for a little bit longer till I reached a dead end with a fork on the road. I could have gone right, I could have gone left. I have no clue which way to go. So I started really looking around and paying attention. And I noticed the chicken wire fence had this wooden post in between. And on one of the posts, there was the number 13 carved on the wood. Now, many may choose to say this is coincidence, but in my world, there are no coincidences, only messages. That was my number, so that was my cue, and I turned in the direction of the number, and like magic, at the turn of the road, there was the hotel. Like this, there have been countless situations for me where the number 13 has been my cue, that the universe was guiding me and telling me that I was on the right path and on the right direction. Another way the universe may choose to communicate is through synchronicities. Synchronicities are a series of events that are connected by intentionality. and out of the ordinary. These are the ways that she uses to guide you. These are definite messages she brings to direct your steps. I'll give you another example. I was ill for about 3 years, and doctors could not figure out what I had. So I said to the universe, as I actually speak to her just the way I'm speaking to you right now. And I said, guess it's up to us to find the cure. I began to see all kinds of ads on Facebook for this thing called Gaia. There were short video clips of, interesting documentaries, but I kept ignoring them. A few days later, again, I'm driving and I see a billboard on the bus with the word Gaia. But again, kept on driving. I see it again on Facebook, another ad. And when I clicked on it, I see that it's a pay service of $9.99 a month. So I said, forget it. And I ignored it. The next day, I'm driving, listening to a podcast, and there's a pay ad. And guess what? You got it. Gaia again. So finally, I'm starting to get the hint. I see I can sign up and get the first month for free. So I said, what the heck? Let's try it. I said to the universe, okay, you win. You obviously want me to see something. I started to watch things on it, and they have an amazing selection of archaeological documentaries. And I have been fascinated my whole life with ancient civilizations. So I was happy. I was enjoying it. A few days passed, and I was at the gym, and I was on my iPad. And when you go to Gaia, it will give you, I don't know if it's an algorithm. I honestly don't know how it is, but it will show you things on your feed that you can watch, or you can search for specific subject headings. But this was on the feed, and there was something called You Are the Placebo. And it was an interview with Dr. Joe Dispenza and Lisa Garr. Up to that point, I had no idea who this guy was. But I listened, and what he said changed my life. He said, if you think logically about a disease, it starts in the body. So why would you think you can go outside the body to get the cure? And that resonated with me. It was like when you get hit by a lightning. I knew that was the message. I was being directed to heal my own body. So I began to study under Dr. Joe Dispenza. And through Gaia, through all the documentaries that I was watching, that the feed was just directing me to watch, I was able to find all these spiritual teachers that would later coach me and inspire me to go on a spiritual journey to transform my life. Based on all those events that happened, I was able to cure my illness. And I have been clear of it for the last 5 years. So my point is this: none of it would have been possible if the universe had not insisted to show me this Gaia TV thing. Everywhere I went, it was Gaia. So the message was there for me and the people that I met through it that taught me the road to healing. Everything in my life now is not random. To me, everything is orchestrated by a divine force that is guiding me to my ultimate destiny. Another example on how the universe may choose to guide you is through dreams. Dreams are powerful ways the universe uses to convey message or give you an answer to a problem or a decision you need to take when you ask for guidance. Many times she will give you a message in a dream, but from my own experience, sometimes it comes in a code. And it's kind of annoying because you'll need to learn her ways to communicate and decode or interpret what she's telling you. And that can only come with practice. I must tell you that in my case, this is her favorite way to communicate with me. I guess I must be perceptive to visions because I'm also shown a lot of visions when I meditate. And I have been fortunate enough to have received incredible insights into my life through dreams. There are so many of them. And obviously, it will make this podcast too long, so I've chosen 2 of them. One happened this summer, June 2020. My ex-husband and I had to make a decision to hire the services of someone that was going to cost a lot of money. And we just weren't sure it was really needed. We felt that perhaps we could get away with having to go through, without having to go through the expense and just go with what we had. We talked about it and I said to him, let's not decide right now. Let's sleep on it. And I went to bed and asked for guidance. The revelation was shocking. Now, remember what I said. The universe speaks in code, so you need to learn to interpret. That night, I had a dream. And in the dream, I was shown two different outcomes or scenarios. The first part of the dream showed me that I was at a conference and I was one of the speakers. And I had to deliver a talk in gratitude about gratitude. I remember in the dream that I went to the hotel room and I left my things, including a paper copy of my speech, and I went to have dinner with my ex-husband and felt good about not having to worry about the speech. In the morning, I see myself in the conference room ready to start, and the room is somehow full. There's lots of empty seats. When I start to talk, I could not remember the speech, no matter the effort that I put in. My mind went blank. And I remember trying to find the speech in my papers and I couldn't find them. And then I found this yellow notepad and what was written in it was not my speech. It's like I had lost it or if someone has switched it. The dream was a bit confusing. The point is I did not have the speech and I was freaking out. I stumbled through it and people left and I felt like a failure. Then the dream immediately switches and shows me a second scenario. I saw myself enter the exact same conference room, but this time it was packed with people. And this time I had remembered what had happened in the previous dream. And this time I came prepared. I had my speech printed and I also had cue cards with me on hand. I stood up and I told the audience what had happened to me the day before about forgetting my speech, and everyone laughed. We broke the ice. I did my talk on gratitude, and people loved it, and everyone clapped, and it was a success. That was it. The dream ended. That morning, I woke up, and I knew intuitively what we had to do. The dream was revealing to me the two scenarios. One, going into court with what we had. The other scenario was going into court prepared with the documents. So to me, it was a clear message. The universe was telling me to go with the services that would help us prepare the documents we would need to win the case. Here's another example. This one was from a few years back. I was going through some very dark times in my life, and I felt so lost. I honestly did not know where my life was heading. It is safe to say that fear was the predominant emotion at that time. So I went to bed, and like every night, I thanked the universe for always protecting me and my girls. And I thanked the universe for all I had, and I went to bed. That night, I had the following dream. I was in the middle of the ocean, right inside the water with my clothes on, as if I had fallen from a ship or something. But in the dream, it doesn't tell me or it doesn't get revealed how I got to the middle of the ocean. But there I was. And I was scared. I could see no land nearby. And I thought to myself, I'm going to die. I can't swim that far. And I saw the sky turning darker, and it was getting later and later, and my body got colder. And I could feel the fear inside me. Suddenly, I saw a shark at a distance, and I panicked. Death was imminent. I just knew there was no way out. I was going to die. As I saw the shark head towards me, I just surrendered. I stopped trying to swim. I put my back onto the water to float and directed my gaze to the sky. to God, and I did not longer fought my fate. I knew there was no point. The end of my life was real, and I could not fight it. Suddenly, the instant I surrendered the fear, I began to experience the most incredible peace, love, and bliss. It is hard to even describe to you right now what I felt, but it was a sense of heaven, of oneness. At that moment, I felt no fear. There was no want, no need, nothing, only love. At the moment of impact, the shark went deeper into the water and made contact with my back. And on the shark's back, it carried me, floated me out of the ocean into the shore. The one thing I feared saved my life. The strange sensation was that I could feel love from the shark towards me. Complete love from this animal that was supposed to kill me. I had the sense also in the dream that we were one and the same. I was the shark and the shark was me. And that completed the dream, which to me is more of a vision, a revelation, a message from the universe telling me not to fear, that I was on the path and that from my fear, I was going to discover my salvation. It was the universe telling me that from my fear, I was going to birth a new me. So to surrender to the flow of life. That was one incredible experience, I must say. Now, another way that the universe may choose to communicate is through people. Right? It will often use people to convey a very important message. Messages may come from those we love, from a stranger, or even friends. A person that you talk to that says something that suddenly gives you the idea that you need it. Or an old friend you have not heard from in a long time suddenly calls you to convey a message. This happened to me. This was around the same time I had the dream of the shark, which was the saddest, most difficult time in my life. I had not seen or heard from this friend for 17 years. All of a sudden, I see a message from her on Facebook. We met briefly to catch up on our misfortunes, and she mentioned in passing a book that someone had given her, but she had not read yet. All I remember her saying is, I think you will really like this book. I left the meeting and I immediately went online and I bought the book on Kindle. And that was it. The universe was guiding me to find that message. And since then, my whole perspective on life changed. It was about how we make use of the universe to guide us, to help us, that we're never alone, that we have this incredible birthright to divine guidance, that, we can, and that we can stay in a frequency of her divinity to help us guide us through the difficult times. Since then, I have made plenty of use from the universe. I've yet to forgo her help. So, reading about the guidance of the universe in my daily endeavors has really changed my life for the better. Now, this would not have been possible if that friend who came out of nowhere had not reached out. I have not seen or heard from this friend since. So you tell me, coincidence or the universe using an old friend to convey a message that I needed to hear? You tell me. So stay tuned. You never know where the help and the signs will come from. It can be from a song, a book, a movie, or podcast. A song that keeps coming on with a verse that you know intuitively is a message that you need. It could be a title of a book you randomly grab from a bookshelf, or a book that falls open to a passage that is a direct experience of what you're going through. Or you hear a random podcast or watch a movie and there's a line in there that you know and it gives you the answer you need. It's actually amazing. I was at a gym on a Sunday morning And I had been going through a bad relationship that lasted about 3 painful years, but I did not have the courage to walk away from for insecurities of not wanting to be alone. I decided to listen to something while working out, and the first podcast on the list was Joel Osteen, Step into the Unknown. The message was so loud and so clear that I was shocked when I heard it. In my heart, I knew it was meant for me. The universe was putting Joel Osteen at my disposal to convey something of the highest importance. He was saying that God is like a GPS in our cars, who is directing us to find our way home. All too often, we don't listen to the directions or signs that the universe is sending because we are too used to our regular GPS systems, which tells us exactly where we are going. Our car's GPS has a feature called the route overview that gives you all the details of the entire route even before you take it. He said that the universe has a route overview of your life, but it does not show us the entire overview. The universe does not tell you how it's going to happen, how long it's going to take, where the turns are going to be. The universe guides you by only revealing one step at a time. And you need to show the universe that you trust her by taking the step into the unknown. When you do, the universe will reveal the next and the next step and the next step, leading you to your destiny. Everything I was hearing made perfect sense. Yes, of course, it's easy to step into the unknown when we have all the answers, right? Well, guess what? The universe was encouraging me to leap into the unknown without the overview. It was asking me to have faith without knowing anything and to stop trying to control and supervise the outcome. Osteen explained that if we choose to step into the unknown with the universe, doors we did not know existed would open for us. The right people will show up and the resources we need would come available. I was stunned, so astonished. It was not every day that the universe dedicated a podcast to me, I thought. Joel Osteen was being used by the universe to convey a message I needed to hear at the moment I needed it most. Step into the unknown, because it is in the unknown where the miracles await. I was being told not to be afraid to follow the universe signs, as it would lead me home. I thought it was not a coincidence that all these things were happening one after another. So I said, okay, you win, I told the universe. Show me the next step, and this time I will follow you, no matter how unknown and how dark that road may seem. You won't believe what transpired next. The very same day in the afternoon, the next step was revealed to me. I acted upon it. I got out of the relationship that has been so toxic for my life. And as promised by the universe, that step led me to my spiritual awakening, to me becoming a writer, a gratitude coach, an author, and a transformational teacher, and to me talking to you about miracles of the universe on this podcast. I have been able to truly find my path and my soul's destiny, and none of it would have been possible without the guidance and constant nudges of the universe. I now see that the life I have fought so hard to keep was nothing in comparison to the life the universe had planned for me. I hope that one of you out there listening to me right now can see that I am simply being used by the universe to convey a message that you need to hear right now. To learn more about the universe and how it communicates, I invite you to read my blog, the link provided on the notes of this podcast. I am honored that you took the time to listen to this message, which is to trust the universe because she knows what she's doing. Let her guide you. It may not be the path you wanted, but it is the path that leads you to your highest and greatest good. May you find the courage to follow your heart's intuition because that is the universe in you, guiding you to the life you deserve. This is your host, Waleuska Lazo, with much gratitude, signing out. Thank you.